Hey everyone! Today's topic is about how to study in medical school part 2, and this is specifically for step 1 studying. Okay, so let's get into this. All right, so how to study for step 1. Okay, so it really depends on the amount of time that you've dedicated to step 1 studying. Do you have 6 weeks? Do you have 3 months? What do you have? So that's the first thing you want to look at, because it depends on the time frame, right? Okay, so what I recommend you doing is, first off, hopefully you have more than 6 weeks. That's the hope here. But if you do not have more than 6 weeks to study, you got to jump on UWorld. You got to do UWorld. And the way you're going to do UWorld in 6 weeks is try to do them mixed. Like, so there's different organ system base in UWorld step 1. So try to do mix so you get a little bit of everything, okay? I honestly think the best way is trying to do UWorld 3 times if you can. If you can get through UWorld more than once, that's amazing, okay? So that's what I recommend. However, if you have more than 6 weeks, you know, you have a lot of opportunity to really learn the foundation of every concept possible, okay? So this is how I would do it. The first time you do UWorld, what you want to do is do each block's subject base. For example, spend 2 days or 1 day, whatever, on pathology. Spend 3 days on only doing cardio questions. Spend 3 days doing GI questions, things like that, okay? Now, as you're doing these questions, make your flashcards or write in a notebook, or use digital flashcards like Quizlet or Anki, whatever, because you always have to review, okay? So basically how you want to start is in the morning when you wake up, have your breakfast, and then jump on doing these questions subject based. When you get through the questions, you have your flashcard made, you have it written out in a notebook, whatever works for you. And then towards the end of the day, spend an hour, you know, hour, 2 hours reviewing what you learned that day, because it's all about spatial repetition. Doing questions doesn't mean anything if you're not grasping the concept, understanding the knowledge behind the question and what it's asking, and also learning the other explanations from the other answer choices. So, you know, that's the main part about studying for step 1, getting through the questions but really understanding the concept that you're learning, okay? So that's the first round of UWorld. So there's a total of 3 rounds that I'm going to talk about, okay? So the first round, do it by subject base, because you're focused on one subject at a time and you master that subject, okay? The second time around, what you do is you'll do it as mixed. Whether you want to reset UWorld at this time, it's absolutely up to you. But what you want to do now is do the UWorld questions and do it as mixed. So you get a little bit of cardio, a little bit of renal, a little bit of pathology, immunology, micro, biostats, whatever. So now you're more training, the mindset that you're training is how the actual exam is going to be, right? Because it's mixed. Step 1 is all mixed. So now you're in this, you're warming up your brain to like, oh, you don't know what the next question is going to be about. So that's UWorld the second time, okay? And then when you're doing those questions, again, end of the day, review your notes. Always, always, always review your notes, okay? That's super important. The third time when you do UWorld again, just do the questions that you got wrong, because you've gone through it twice already and you're still getting it wrong. So you really need to, you know, put some time aside and focus on these questions, learn the questions, you know, every single detail about it, because you have to, there's a reason why you keep getting it wrong. So there's a concept that maybe you're not like really understanding, right? That's the third time. Okay. All right, so we talked about doing UWorld 3 times. First time doing subject based, second time doing mixed, third time only the wrong questions that you keep getting, okay? Now, that's UWorld. Reviewing. Make sure you review every day in your Anki deck, in your paper flashcards, or you're writing it down, or you're whiteboarding, okay? That's the second part of studying for step 1. The third part is resources. There's so many resources out there for first aid. There's so many resources out there for step 1. Oh my God. So you have first aid. You have all these other books that are there. Guys, now let me talk about first aid. First aid is great. I like their pictures, okay? Really cute, okay? But if you don't understand the foundation of the concept that you're learning, first aid is just literally word vomit. That's what it is, okay? If you don't understand the background, the foundation of a concept, first aid's not going to help you at all. You need to actually look it up, what it is, and then first aid is more of a supplement to kind of help you understand the bigger picture, right? So first aid, I would not use that as a sole study strategy. It's not going to work. Memorizing, you know, what's in there is not going to help you. I mean, I can understand if you are memorizing like tumor markers. Okay, fine, whatever. Or charts. Great, fine. But you have to really understand each and every concept because it's all about application. When you're taking step 1, it's application based, okay? So use first aid if you like. Google's amazing as well. Up to date, I love up to date. If you don't know what up to date is, you will in clinical years. It's basically just a search engine for all medical knowledge, okay? There is a fee for it. Unless you're already working in a hospital, you can get it for free through the hospital. Most hospitals have that. Also, you know, you can look into step 2 books too. Like, why limit yourself with just step 1 material? Look into step 2 book. Use that as reference as well. There's Step Up to Medicine. First Aid has a step 2 book. Master the Boards is another one by Kaplan. You know, as far as for supplement usage. So try to think outside of the box, guys. You gotta think outside the box. Just don't focus in on everything step 1, okay? Think outside of the box. You do UWorld, do it 3 times, great, perfect. And then try to look at from other avenues of how learning the concept, right? So I recommend those 3 advices. If you have time to study for step 1 and you've gone through UWorld step 1 3 times already, I highly recommend purchasing UWorld step 2 and start doing those questions. I know it's a little radical of me to say this, but it's basically you are being asked questions, but from different angles, okay? So UWorld step 1 asks you questions in one way. UWorld step 2 will ask you the same concept, but the question is coming, you know, it's like a curveball. So why not learn that? Or if you don't want to purchase UWorld step 2, Kaplan has question banks, Amboss has question banks. So always try to do as many questions as possible. However, primarily UWorld, okay? Just stick to UWorld. If you can do it 3 times, you are set. If you're on a time crunch, yo, every day you better do mixed questions and review it, okay? It's super, super important. Besides that, that's really it. You don't have to get all fancy with studying for step 1. You don't need 20 books. You don't need to be going, you know, going through first aid and pathoma, then what are the, I don't even remember all the other books. It's been forever. Sketchy, whatever. It's not about memorizing the concept. It's about applying the concept, okay? UWorld questions, I can tell you this from my own experience, like literally mimics step 1 and step 2. So if you're already training your brain with these type of questions, step 1 will just feel like you're doing a UWorld block, okay? Besides that, I did post a blog today on how to study for step 1 as well to supplement this video. If you guys have any questions, if you need help with creating a schedule, if you want to talk about anything med school related, please reach out. I'm absolutely here for you. I understand that step 1 is stressful, it's hard, but get through it. Just every morning it's all about your mindset. How do you think about all these things? Don't ever say to yourself that you can't do it or it's hard, because your brain will believe you when you say that, okay? Believe that you're a go-getter, you're a winner, you're going to get through it, you know the concept, you understand the concept, you're going to make it, you're successful, okay? You have to be your biggest cheerleader, okay? You have to be your biggest supporter, okay? And obviously me, I'm your biggest supporter too. I want everyone to succeed in medical school, okay? So, anyways, I think that's pretty much it for today. Keep your notification button on for future videos, because I will do videos on how to study for the shelf during your clinical year, how to study for step 2 CK, and then step 2 CS. Okay, guys? Thank you so much for taking the time to watching the video and hanging out with me today. See you guys later. Bye.